Great dessert doesn't always have to involve chocolate. You could try a key lime cupcake instead. Tart cupcakes that normally have just over 300 calories. Kelly York's with us, and she's cut it down to 174. It's almost 50% off. Chef Kelly is with us here from the kitchen hotline to make the healthy swap. Good to see you as always.
Good morning, Tom. Yes.
So how do we do it? How do we take all that calories and fat out?
We're going to cut back the sugar, the fat, the carbs, and that's really where we focused on. So first thing we're going to do is take a half a cup of egg beaters and a half an apple, and the reason we're using the apple is it puts some bulk in because we're using stevia, so we need that and the sweetness.
And they're cut into small, dicing.
Yeah, they're diced up, and then we add 2 teaspoons of lime zest, key lime zest, the little tiny little round.
Yep, the little guys.
The little guys, and it takes about 7 of those to make a third a cup. So you're going to do some squeezing, and then we take a half a cup of melt and a half a cup of the stevia and put that in.
Melt. I'm not
Melt.
familiar with
It's a coconut oil, non-hydrogenated organic coconut oil, and then a cup of whole wheat white flour. So you get your get a little bit more of the fiber in there, and 1 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and then finally 3/4 of a cup of milk.
Baking soda or baking powder?
Excuse me, baking powder.
Okay.
Very good catch. And then that goes into your blender.
Right.
And just blend it up till it's nice and creamy.
So it'll make a nice batter.
It makes a wonderful batter, and then you're going to put it into your cupcake liners and fill it about 2/3 full and bake it at 350 for about 20 minutes.
Because they will rise a bit.
They will rise. And then the next thing you're going to do is cut out the cores. Once they come out of the refrigerator, excuse me, the oven, you're going to take a cupcake coring, and you can get this at any of the supply stores, the cooking supply stores. Probably could even get it at Walgreens. You just stick that in, pull it out.
See, I'm saying that's a good way to cut the fat and calories.
Yeah, very good idea.
Take out the middle half.
Yeah, and then we're going to make the filling.
Okay.
Now, once you get that cut out, you're going to take sweetened condensed milk, and sweetened condensed milk has a lot of sugar in it, and this is really where our sugar is in the recipe.
Okay.
We're taking about a half a can to make 12 cupcakes. Then we're going to add
we have some of that
a
key lime
third cup
juice.
of the key lime juice and 1/8 a cup of low-fat yogurt. This just gives it a little bit more tanginess to cut some of that sweetness. And then that'll set right up.
Plain low-fat yogurt.
Plain Greek yogurt. I use 0% fat.
Okay.
Really cut the fat back. And that'll set up pretty quickly. And then you're going to pour it into your cupcake core.
That goes into the absent core.
Yes, and then you stick it in the refrigerator. Meanwhile, you make a meringue. Now, meringue takes about 10 minutes because we're going to put egg whites, a half a cup of egg whites in a double boiler with a teaspoon of vanilla and a 1/3 a cup of baker's sugar and a 1/4 a teaspoon of cream of tartar. You're going to let that sit on the heat. Now, boiling water is underneath this pan. It's a double boiler.
Now, meringue, I tend to think we get into a tricky area here where you have to have some feel, some touch, but you say not so much?
Not so much. The key here is to get it nice and warm so that your sugar dissolves.
Okay.
If your sugar doesn't dissolve, you're going to have a gritty meringue. It's just not going to go anywhere. So you make a syrup. Get that pretty hot. It needs to be at least 130 to 160.
Okay.
And then you blend it up slow with your beater on top the stove for about 4 minutes. Then take it off. Once it gets up to that temperature, you want to cook it.
It'll be that frothy meringue.
Right. You take it off and you beat it for about another 5 minutes. Then you're going to pipe it on top of your cupcakes and decorate it. I use a little lime and some filigrees with some white chocolate.
And what do you do with your cupcake cores, the one you took out?
Well, you know what? I actually put them in a bag in the freezer, and then when I make like a trifle or I want to have cake and ice cream and mix it up.
It's a nice treat.
Yeah, do a Cold Stone type of thing, yeah.
Well,
never throw away.
We've taken a ton of not only fat and calories, but you say carbohydrates as well, really.
Yes, because you've cut the sugar back. We're using the stevia. We cut back the amount of sugar to begin with. There's plenty of sweetness there, a nice little tart. It makes a great Valentine's cupcake.
I can't believe you got through all of it. That's a lot to do. And if you didn't keep up with us, of course, as always, we have the recipe on the website. And you can also call our friends over at the kitchen hotline. They're going to be taking calls today between noon and 4. There's the number on your screen, 877-773-8485. And again, the recipe on the website at kwgn.com. Kelly, thanks as always.
You're welcome.
All right, Twi Hearts, you can be